first round coverage from the Riverwalk region. National Player of the Year contender Paige Bueckers leading the 1 seed UConn without Gino Auriemma. That's associate head coach Chris Daly on the sideline due to some COVID-related protocols as they get set to take on the first-timers from the Big South, the High Point Panthers. Winner of this one will meet Syracuse in the second round, and the big-time scores in that Iowa-Kentucky matchup, all a part of our second round coverage. Hi, I'm Beth Mullins along with Renee Montgomery and Holly Rowe joining us as well from the Alamo Dome. So here we go, Renee. Never in the history of our great game as a freshman won National Player of the Year honors. Paige Bueckers might just be the first.
Yeah, Paige Bueckers. There's not a lot of UConn records left to be broken, but she's found a way to break almost all of them. 19 points per game. She's shooting 54% field goal percentage. That's shooting threes and everything. So, yes, she is a freshman, but she definitely doesn't play like
They will be without their leader. A positive COVID test has sidelined Gino Auriemma for at least the first 2 rounds, Holly Rowe.
Well, that's right. You know, Gino Auriemma has won more national championships than any coach in history, so it is significant that they are without him tonight for the first time ever in an NCAA tournament game for UConn. Coach Auriemma tested positive on the 14th. If they are able to win tonight and the next round, he could join the team in San Antonio on the 24th. I was able to check in with Gino. He's at home watching this game. He has been able to talk to the players every single day at practice leading up to this, but they will miss his energy and his adjustments on the bench. But Chris Daly's been preparing for this her entire life. She's 10-0 when coaching the team without him.
Yeah, they have been without him on occasion during the regular season. Chris Daly undefeated, the first time in an NCAA tournament game. Home whites for the #1 seed in the region, the Huskies, champions of the Big East Conference, 24-1. And the Panthers of High Point in purple, making their very first trip to the NCAA tournament. And Renee Montgomery, if you like shots from downtown, get ready, because the Panthers will put a lot up tonight.
Oh, yeah, they averaged 10.5 three-pointers per game. So, yeah, they're going to put them up, and they're going to make some of them.
Let's check out tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. Edwards, Wyatt, Skylar Curran is their big-time scorer, the 6-foot junior out of Clemens, North Carolina, and China McMichel. Curran, 91 made three-pointers on the season, number 21.
Yeah, and if you look right now, UConn is pretty much switching everything. Trying to keep High Point outside the three-point line, and it worked. There wasn't a paint touch that whole possession.
Rebound for Kristen Williams. Bueckers is joined in the backcourt by another freshman, Nika Mule, as well as Williams, Nelson Adota, and Avina Westbrook, the transfer from Tennessee. Rattling in and out on the 3-ball.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to see a lot of. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that from Westbrook and her teammates. If you thought that shot was deep, that's normal for them. They get them up.
Mule tried to drop it off inside. Pass is picked off. The head coach for the Panthers, Chelsea Banbury, second season, longtime assistant at Florida Gulf Coast, where, as you know, they will also launch a lot of them. 3-ball from Skylar Curran, and there we go. High Point's got the early lead over the Huskies.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. That was the second in a row deep three. They're not shooting at the three-point line. They're shooting where they're open, a step behind the three-point line.
They make 10 a game. They may have to double that for a shot against Connecticut. And Curran showing some range.
Yeah, and just, I mean, look where she's at. The defenders are waiting at the three-point line, and with this team, you have to get up closer. They shoot it from they are comfortable shooting it from that deep.
Is that Skylar Curran or Curry on that last shot as Williams scores up at the rim?
Logo Curran.
And UConn is back on top. Early in our first round matchup, Curran will try from the corner, short, one and done on that trip. And here is Paige Bueckers, the phenom out of Hopkins, Minnesota, Prep National Player of the Year out of high school, maybe National Player of the Year in the collegiate ranks as a rook.
Oh, good defense.
In the backcourt by Westbrook, and she'll get an easy one.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. A couple missed layups by UConn easy baskets that UConn has missed, but way to make your own breaks. And here on the steal, this is just full court pressure cookies. That's what we call it when it happens like that. You get an easy pick 6.
Take a snickerdoodle on that one, Renee. It is something unique, not only without Gino on the sideline, but this is a young Husky team, and we're accustomed to seeing them roll into the NCAA tournament with all kinds of veterans, a lot of players already wearing rings. That is not the case for this batch of Connecticut players. Backdoor lay-in is missed there by McMichel.
And that's not the case in McMichel. Though that's a great cut by her. Have to finish the basket, but that's not the case. A couple freshmen in the lineup, some juniors. It's not the normal UConn experience that you usually are used to seeing.
Only Kristen Williams and Olivia Nelson-Adota have played in NCAA tournament games in a UConn uniform. They score inside, ONO. It's an 8-0 run. That early High Point lead must have made the Huskies mad. They've bounced back nicely from that.
But High Point has gotten open looks after that. It's just the defense of UConn has been giving High Point fits right now, creating easy buckets as you see there. Oh, and a miss.
Yeah, the defense for Connecticut has altered this one quickly.
But the way High Point is running through their offense, running through their cuts, they've gotten the looks that they wanted. They just haven't been able to finish them.
Here's a look at Chelsea Banbury, the 2021 Big South Coach of the Year.
Yep.
And a rarity in this COVID season. They played every game on their schedule this year. Finished 22-6. Second chance, up and in. Curran.
And that's what you have to do, attack the glass. Keep running through your sets. If a team is switching everything, you might not get the first, second, or third shot. You have to keep it moving.
13-5 Huskies. Williams again, she's got 5.
And I look for Kristen Williams to be aggressive in the lead. We talked about it. There's not many people that does have experience for UConn, so the ones that do have to take the lead for this.
Good mid-range J there for High Point. In the neighborhood of Greensboro, North Carolina, in their first NCAA trip. Good backdoor Williams.
And you know, we've seen a couple back doors for both teams now, and that usually happens when you're antsy, you're guarding your defender too tight, they hit you with a backdoor cut. So both teams look like they're playing a little bit too close, letting their defender get behind them, letting their man get behind them.
12 of the 15 points for Connecticut in the paint, and on the drive, the foul on Williams. That will get McMichel a trip to the line, the senior from Indianapolis.
And right here, this is what I'm talking about. Look at the defender, overplay the play, 2 points.
Now for the UConn Huskies, this is what we were referencing. Games in a UConn jersey in the NCAA tournament. 5 for Nelson-Adota Williams, 3 for Avina Westbrook.
No,
those were with Tennessee. Yeah, the other 2 were with UConn.
Yeah.
Avina Westbrook was with Tennessee, my bad.
Yeah, but the point is they've scored all 15 points of UConn's 15 tonight, and that's kind of what we were talking about earlier, where if you have the experience, you've been to the big dance before, you have to will the others to get there, because there's going to be nerves. It doesn't matter how big of a player you are. This is a big stage. There will be nerves attached to it.
A couple of free throws for High Point and a 15-9 game. Nelson-Adota tries to get over to the right side, rebounded by Curran.
And Olivia's had a couple of those that she's missed down there.
Huskies will enjoy the size advantage. The biggest that High Point puts on the court is 6'1" Claire Wyatt. So they're going to have to scrap for the glass.
And you can tell that High Point, Exactly. That's what I was going to say. And you can tell that High Point is trying to force the issue, and that's what you do. You never want to go against a set offense. If you can get some shots up before the defense gets set, that's obviously ideal. Attack the pressure, attack the defense, and got a free throw.
And that is the second foul on Kristen Williams here in the first quarter, and she will depart.
And that's big because, as we talked about, Kristen Williams was one of the few players that had this experience, so you wanted her out on the court, but she still needs to be very vocal while on the bench.
She'll be replaced by Leah Edwards, the 6'3" freshman from Canada. Second one is good.
And if you're High Point, you have to be comfortable with where you are. You took UConn's shot in the beginning, had an 8-0 run. You answered it with a run of your own, now making it a 5-point deficit.
Bueckers bounced that one off her teammate, able to track it back down. Paige will pull up, and a little fade on it, and Bueckers has her first career NCAA tournament basket.
Yeah, you knew it was going to be a matter of time before she got on the board. Here, she tried to pass it to her teammate in a little High Point action, but got it back and was like, I'll just handle it myself. Splash.
So talented, I think she got an assist and a basket on that particular play.
Double duty.
She has a chance to set freshman scoring and assist records this year. She's on pace to do that. 19 points over 6 dimes.
And, you know, Paige Bueckers gets a lot of media attention, but if you watch her play, she's as good as advertised.
Sinadota, good double team coming to help. Olivia muscles that up and in.
And that was one of the more difficult shots she had tonight, and she finished that one.
6'5" junior out of Georgia, and the pick. It's a clean one from Mule. Leaves it up and in. Freshman from Croatia. She's been starting since about the middle of January, coming back from an injury earlier in the season.
And she's just solid. She's so solid, makes the right plays, makes the right passes. Woo. Rejection there by Paige Bueckers.
She touched it.
But the one thing I do like is that you can, with the smaller crowds, is you can pick up a lot of the chatter on the court as you see Bueckers with the rejection.
Yeah, and they were calling, UConn players were calling that she touched it, but that was a full palm block out of bounds by Paige.
He'll grab the rebound as well and then run it. Uses the screen. Look at Edwards get in there. Up against 3 Panthers. Grabbed it and put it back.
Love the extra effort. You could always assume that a shot is going in, but good rebounders never assume it's going in.
They are forcing Curran off the three-point line, but she'll go ahead and show her mid-range game. She's got 7 points and 5 boards. High Point to start, Renee. 1 of 7 from downtown. Remember, this is a team that drops 10 per night. Second best in the nation. And meanwhile, UConn continues to hammer away in the lane.
Yeah, and that's exactly what UConn needs to do. They need to put it in the paint. You talked about the height differences of the players. High Point, on the other end, they have to force their issue. If you're a three-point shooting team, you need to set screens to get your three-point shooters open or get some layups to loosen up the three-point defense.
Gonna be foul there. I think little extra from Westbrook trying to fight through the screen. Well, all 4 of the men's NIT quarterfinals come to ESPN Networks on Thursday. Mississippi State Richmond at 6 on ESPN2. And visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. First round coverage of the NCAA tournament. It's been all chalk so far. The Power 5, 10-0 against the G5 so far on this opening day. And don't forget, coming up after this game, Another #1. In fact, the overall #1, Stanford Cardinal, will be in action against first-timers Utah Valley.
Yeah, and while they've all won, and they're talking about the Power Fives, there's been some close ones, some good games down the line. There's been some games that got out of hand early, but there's been some good action.
Foul there's going to be on Sydney Johnson, the redshirt freshman from Raleigh, a member of the All-Big South freshman team. For a Panther squad that tied the school record for single-season wins with 22. And how's this for not only getting to the tournament for the first time, but you win it at home in the last game to ever be played at the Millis Center. They will be moving into the $120 million Cabane Arena next year. And the best of send-offs.
Yeah, I was going to say with that new facility, and then you have the opportunity that players can come there and know that they get to shoot threes. I think that's a good nucleus for recruiting. I think you'll get some players that way.
You might get some scorers, yeah. Everyone was looking up at the University of Maryland this year, and the offensive foul is going to be on UConn setting the screen. Maryland repeatedly was dropping 90, over 100 all season long for the Terps. And what a job Brenda Freese did replacing all 5 starters. And they've got a chance at a championship.
Yeah,
then on
and right
Edwards.
Yeah, that's just a little shoulder action. Not much there, but you know, she did move on the screen. Now UConn has 3 seconds. I can hear someone saying go. 3 seconds is a long time.
Bueckers cannot bounce that one in off the board. But the top seed in the Riverwalk region, 25-12.
Yeah, and then this is just what's going to be all night in the paint for UConn. Nelson Adota, have your way.
UConn Associate Head Coach Chris Daly coaching the team tonight in Juno Oriema's absence, and she is the backbone of this program, does so much to make them great. But, you know, we beg to the question, without Coach Oriema here, and her usually being the person that is the get-back coach, she's the one that has performed this unenviable task throughout the years of keeping Gino out of trouble. So our question tonight was, who would help her if she had to be told to get back? But I know this, Chris has more decorum than that. Nobody's going to have to tell her what to do.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What's the over-under on how many times Gino was inadvertently stabbed with the pen that Chris is wielding there with the clipboard? Oh. Well, we certainly wish Coach all the best, and we know he's been asymptomatic and in touch with the team throughout. Can't be in contact during the game. And actually, Holly Rowe, the other issue is, of course, they're also without Shea Ralph. So it's just Jamel Elliott over there on the sideline with Chris.
That's right. Their other full-time assistant coach, Shea Ralph, came down to San Antonio with the team, but then had a family member close to her test positive for COVID, so out of an abundance of caution, she went home. So they are definitely shorthanded over there. But there's no women I trust more in America than Jamel Elliott and Chris Daly.
Ben Cantor, their video coordinator, has been helping out Renee.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to what we talked about for this is just a different season, and you have to almost be ready for anything. But I agree with Holly. There's no one I would trust more than Chris Daly and Jamel Elliott over there on the sidelines to get it done. Jamel Elliott was one of my coaches when I was there in 2009, so just passion, as you can see right there on the screen.
Jamel dates back to that very first UConn National Championship in 1995 with the likes of Rosati and Lobo. 11 of them total. Never lost in a final, but they have lost the last 3 years in the national semifinals.
Hey, comment,
Nelson Adodo, 16-footer. Needed a little more oomph on that. So here's an opportunity for High Point. Poor shooting in the first quarter, but they got Kristen Williams in some foul trouble. And now they can cut into this and get it back into single digits here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, they can. And one of the first things they need to do is take care of the ball. They have 5 turnovers early right now. just letting that UConn pressure get to them. I think that's also speeding up their shots on their three-pointers.
And they're just 2 of 9 now from downtown for the Huskies. All the damage done in the paint. 20 of their 25 points from in the lane. They do not have a trip to the free throw line yet tonight, by the way. Haven't needed it thus far as Edwards strikes again. All 5 starters, and now Edwards off the bench, have scored.
And that's what you want to see if you're UConn, just a balanced attack. You don't want Paige Bueckers. I know everyone coming into the game wanted to see Paige do Paige things, and she might do it on cue right now, but you don't want her to have to do everything. So this is a welcome sight to see this balanced attack and balanced scoring.
Boy, Aaliyah Edwards could be a big difference maker for this team to try and make a deep run. A lot of times the freshmen run out of gas over the course of the season. She seems to have been getting better. And the tank fuller.
That's right. And then just Edwards' energy. If you just watch her play, look at the level of activity. She was ready to set another screen, saw that it was a shot, went and chased the rebound and got the putback. That's what she does. She's an engine, and she just works all game long.
They've had success going north of the border. Kia Nurse comes to mind.
Yeah.
Canadians to join UConn. Winner of this one will face Syracuse in the second round. Nelson Adota. A lot of chances for Connecticut in the lane.
And I was going to say a lot of chances for Nelson Adota. If she just stands down there and makes layups, I mean, she can have a big night. There's just not size to match up with her.
Let's see if High Point can get a little more out of Skylar Curran. But Holly, you saw something over on that sideline a moment ago.
That's right. She's been out of the game for the last couple of minutes as the athletic trainer Shelby Hackett was looking at her left hand. She has checked back in, but they need her to get going. She averages almost 20 points a game, and they've got to get her more on the board.
7 points, 5 rebounds. For the Big South's Player of the Year, member of the 1,000 Point Club.
Yep. And as
Third
we're
in the
talking
country in
about
attempts. Oh, sorry, Renee. 4th in makes from downtown.
And I was going to say the same as what I said about Paige, just the same for Skylar. You don't want her to have to do everything. She has 7 points right now of the team's 15, so she's scored almost half of the team's points already. You need some other players to pitch in and loosen up that defense.
Bueckers fouled on the shot, so here comes the first UConn free throw of the evening.
And what is great about Paige Bueckers' game, as you see, the 19 points, the 84% free throw, but what's great is she lets the game come to her. She could have came out, this is the tournament, and just came out gunning, but she let the game come to her. She set up her teammates. They had a post presence to start with, and then she went to work.
Points per game by a freshman, more than Mosqueda Lewis, more than any of the other rookies. There's a 3-ball from Claire Wyatt, freshman from Knoxville.
And that's exactly what has to happen. Claire Wyatt, the other shooters on the team, they have to knock down some shots. It can't be all on Skylar.
They've hit 2 of their 3 triples here in the second quarter, starting to heat up a little bit.
Probably getting a little bit of the nerves out of the way, calming down, settling into the game, and it looks like maybe an ankle.
Nikki Mule is the injured UConn Husky. It was a stress reaction injury earlier in the year for Nika.
Yeah, and you could tell right when she went down, she knew it was, I'm hoping it's just an ankle or something of that nature. But you hate to see it.
Chris Daly and a member of their athletic training staff out there to check on Mule and her teammate Paige Bueckers.
And you always just hope that the injury, sometimes when you land, it's a shock of pain, and then it kind of calms down after that. You always hope that that's the case.
Yeah, that was the right ankle getting twisted, landing on one of the high point players.
Yeah. Man, it's hard for me to watch those, Beth.
Well, and they came into the NCAA tournament. You know, as a lot of teams this time of year, you've worked your rotation down to maybe 8 players. So,
and you know, this is just
have to lean on the depth a little bit. Yep.
And this is just, you know, having limited people. You know, usually you might see someone from the staff carry a player that can't walk, just carry them to the sidelines and get them there. But you see here, it's the players helping her to the sidelines and the trainer, just because there's just not a lot of extra bodies in the bubble.
Yeah, you're limited to a travel party. I believe the number is 34.
Correct.
For your entire travel party. A lot less than they're accustomed to. Boy, listen to that communication on defense. Curran keeps it alive, pulls up over Nelson Udota.
Yeah, I love to hear the sounds of the court. But again, High Point, that defensive pressure by UConn is taking High Point completely out of their offense as Edwards gets another basket.
What a catch by Aaliyah. That was a rocket of a pass from Westbrook, and Aaliyah now with 8 points.
Yeah, Aaliyah Edwards came to play today. 8 points, 5 rebounds. Look at her energy. You can see her helping, recovering, talking on that back line.
Good ball fake down low, and the basket for Jordan Edwards, the junior out of Pittsburgh. Transfer from Niagara. She led the Big South this year in assist-to-turnover ratio running the point.
Yeah, and if you're Jordan, that's what you need to continue to do. There's going to be a lot of people that shoot threes, but you can be that attack that is in the basket and shooting the threes.
4 points from downtown, 1 point at the free throw line for UConn. Everything else has been inside, as you see in the 2-box, and now they're on your full screen. They will look at that right ankle that she injured just a few moments ago. Connecticut with the first half lead, under 5 to go in the quarter. That is the scene behind the Husky bench. That's Nika Mule on the training table. An ankle injury. And they immediately go to the ice here, Renee, and the expression on her face, not a good one. The disappointment in her first NCAA tournament game.
And that's exactly it. It's her first tournament game. You know she wants to be out there with her teammates. As athletes, it's as frustrating as it is disappointing when you put all the work, the time and effort in from the whole season. And this has been a difficult season as is, to get here and then, you know, sprain your ankle in the first game. So I'm sure that there's so many emotions going through Nika's head, but hopefully she can have a quick recovery.
So the Huskies are down a head coach, down an assistant coach, and now down a starter. Let's check in with Holly.
Guys, you could see Nika Mule and the athletic trainer, Janelle Francisco, do some mobility tests with her. She was able to move her left ankle, or that right ankle, to the left and to the right. And so that's a good sign for her. They've already put the ice on it. It does not look like she's going to return right now, but they do have x-ray facilities on site here at the Alamo Dome. They'll be able to get her the treatment and the evaluation that she needs. But it's a big blow. She'd already missed part of the season with a stress reaction in that foot, and now this.
Yeah, my heart goes out to players because, again, it's the work you put in. It's the anticipation of this big game and wanting to have an impact as Paige Bueckers gets a layup. But it's just wanting the want to. So, like we said, hopefully it's a quick recovery, but you never want to see that.
So, not only is Paige Bueckers heating up a little bit, but so are the High Point shooters. 4 of 5 triples here in the second quarter.
And you knew it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
You knew it was only a matter of time before they were going to start making the law of averages. And you talked about it. Paige Bueckers is getting hot along the way as well.
3 straight for Bueckers. Step back, Curran.
And what this does is, now that Nika Mule has went out, Paige Bueckers knows that, and you see that she started getting hot at the time that Nika went out. Beautiful pass right there to Edwards, but Paige is a gamer, and what that means by that is when the moment is big, Paige will play big.
30 points in the paint now for Connecticut. And that will go to the Huskies. Yeah, how about 31 points in that South Carolina win, including the game-winning basket, the game winner, that monster three late in the Tennessee game.
Yeah.
Don't forget, coming up at the half, ESPN in the studio, Kelsey Riggs, Andrea Carter, and Monica McNutt. One of Bueckers' good buddies, Caitlin Clark, had a good start to her NCAA tournament career at Iowa. And Georgia Tech able to hang on. The Rec advance in overtime. It's been total chalk so far on the brackets. Nary an upset to be had thus far on this opening day.
And that's my whole crew in there in the studio. What up, Monica, Andrea? What up, everybody? Like, I love this. I love it here.
Beth Mullins, Renee Montgomery, she of a national championship at Connecticut, a couple of WNBA championships. A newly minted owner of the Atlanta Dream, part ownership. Great to see so many former athletes and a lot of women in the industry, a lot of guys out there getting into the ownership side of women's sports. As High Point continues to rain them down from deep.
Yeah, and don't look now. High Point got hot in a hurry. It's raining from deep right now, and that could come into play later in the game. And during this time frame,
triples this quarter.
It looks like Paige has taken over, you know, and that's the sign of a good player. She was very quiet in the beginning of the game, let the game come to her. They actually were pounding the ball in the paint in the beginning of the game. And then Paige found her moments.
4 for 4 at the line, the only free throw attempts of the game here in the first half for Connecticut. As she has awakened here in this second quarter. 5 baskets, 11 points.
Yeah, she has. And the thing that's happened is once you score a lot of points in the paint, now all of the attention is in the paint, and then you do your work from the outside. So kind of what High Point is probably going to have to do at a certain point. You can see UConn is running High Point off the three-point line as the basket doesn't count there, but that's what you have to do if you're High Point, attack the basket.
Well, they've already gotten Kristen Williams in some foul trouble. That's the first on Bueckers.
Yeah, and this is what you do. If a team is going to press you far outside the three-point line, then you put your head down, you drive to the basket and make them foul you. They can't do both.
And there's nothing easy coming against Connecticut. Number 3 in the country scoring defense, number 5 in the nation field goal percentage defense, as Williams looks on with the 3 personal fouls in the first half. And one of their other starters, Nika Mule, out right now with an ankle injury. Suffered here in the first half. It's going to be a foul on the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's what you have to expect in the tournament. You pretty much have to expect the unexpected. You took a loss when it comes to your coaching staff. Now a player went down hurt. A player's in foul trouble. You just have to keep rolling with the punches.
Edwards 10 and 7 off the bench here in the first half.
And that's what I was talking about, just effort. If you go back and look at a lot of her buckets, it's just, she has a motor and she's going to work at it. She's going to attack the glass every time a shot goes up. She's going to set good screens, which makes her be open.
UConn hits 50 here in the first half. They've got 3 in double digits.
And that's that balanced scoring that you want to see, that every coach wants to see. You never want to have one player have to do everything, because if you have a bad night, And the team has a bad night.
And they've taken away Skylar Curran. She's just 1 of 7 from downtown, number 21 in purple. The double team gets the turnover, and instead it ends up being a shot clock violation.
And it's that defensive pressure. That's 8 turnovers right now for a High Point. A lot of those where the balls were taken directly out of a player's hand, just ball pressure, running them off the three-point line.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they blew that dead. Somewhere Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe were whistling for a play-on soccer violation there to give the Huskies a fast break opportunity. They'll take the bucket in the paint anyways.
No harm, no foul then, as long as the bucket was made.
How about 7 shots in a row for UConn? And a big first half for the top seed in the Riverwalk. They can hold for 1.
And they should hold for 1, but if you're High Point, you have to find a way to find some balance. I know that you're a three-point shooting team, but if a team is going to run you off of that three-point line, you have to take what the defense gives you.
Bueckers in
Beautiful pass.
Pretty pass inside and a foul.
Ooh, that was a beautiful pass.
Aubrey Griffin rolled from the weak side, and somehow Bueckers saw her through 3 bodies.
And look at the pressure. I mean, look at the amount of bodies. 1, 2, 3, drops the pass. Good help defense right there to stop the layup, but it ended up being a foul. But the vision of Paige Bueckers, that's one of the things that a lot of people talk about with her. She sees the play happen before it happens. She sees it happening, and then she drops the pass, leads the player. I know you love playing with Paige if you're her teammates.
Final second of the half, and that'll do it. Connecticut shoots 61% from the floor, 32 points in the lane on the shellac. Without any paint in there, they still took charge. Big lead for the Huskies. Let's get to the studio and Kelsey Riggs.
She's a workhorse, 11 points and 7 rebounds.
In just 14 minutes of work. The other developing story is an injury in the first half to starter Nika Mule. Holly?
Well, that's right. The freshman starter, Nika Mule, went off the court at the half on crutches after really spraining that, I think it was the right ankle.
Yep.
She had to be helped off the court. She has not returned, and she will not return in this game. Guys, it is a big deal, not only because she just scores 5 points a game, 2.5 rebounds, but she is their defensive energizer bunny. She really gets that spirit. She's a hound on the ball. She has a lot of great ball pressure, and that's going to be a big miss for them here in the second half.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how their depth does. Anna Makarat, who returned from a lower leg injury and missed 13 games, did return to the Huskies in March. May see more from her, and a whistle and a foul. And is that going to be an offensive foul on UConn?
Yep, that's on
After
Edwards.
the basket at the other end, yep, Jensen Edwards.
Yeah. And that's the same thing that happened on the other end, you know, and that's, you know, almost as a coach, you welcome good screens. Again, that's not much there, but you see a little bit of shoulder action. But you want a player that's leaning into the screens, trying to set good screens, especially for your best player in Paige Bueckers.
Bueckers takes the charge on China McMichel. Also for associate head coach Chris Daly, who is on the sideline tonight, directing traffic in the absence of Gino Auriemma. The head coach is out for at least the first 2 rounds of this tournament after testing positive for COVID. And Kristen Williams, number 13 in white there, playing with 3 personal fouls. She was really limited in that first half.
Look at Aaliyah Edwards. I mean, relentless, making her own breaks. Just got a foul, so you would think that maybe she might play a little bit safe, but look at this work. Look at how they're trying to get her out of there, trying to nudge. She just stays with it. Again, one of those players that you would love to play with.
And that is the 4th personal foul on McMichel. So one of the starters in trouble for the High Point Panthers, playing in their first NCAA tournament. Champions of the Big South.
And that's Nelson Adota again, another point blank layup. She has to just take her time, gather herself, and make the layups because there's no one there that can really block the shot.
There's some smothering defense from Connecticut. And now High Point will push the other way. Edwards to Skylar Curran, has that kind of range and is fouled on the jumper. And
it looked like UConn fouled each other. It looked like the UConn players actually ran into each other. We're going to check out the replay again. Yeah, I couldn't quite see it there, but it looked like the players hit each other harder than the actual shooter. But that's what happens when you have a team that shoots threes at such a high clip as High Point. You react.
So the foul was initially given to Kristen Williams, which would have been her 4th, and then they took it away from her and gave it to Aaliyah Edwards, her 3rd.
And I don't know if that's any better. I mean, both players, you don't want to be in foul trouble, but it's just tough as we watch Nika Mule head down on crutches. You know that's just not how she saw the tournament going, so hopefully, again, she has a speedy recovery.
Westbrook into Nelson Adota. Here's Edwards going to work on the left side with the right hand off glass.
I'm telling you what, Aaliyah Edwards has made herself known tonight in the sense of she's just getting after it. Every time she gets a layup or an open shot, she makes sure she takes her time and makes it. I love the way she's playing right now.
Could have been a reach-in foul there on Westbrook. Shot clock is under 10. Curran deflected by Westbrook. Oh, Edwards, nice move. Gets some clean air, can't hit it.
That would have been on SportsCenter. She made that one. But if you're Olivia right there and no one's guarding you, you need to take some hard dribbles at an offensive player. If you don't want to shoot it from there, you can't just hold the ball and be stagnant. Take some power dribbles at one of your players. You're a free screener now if no one's guarding you.
A little bit too unselfish on that possession for Connecticut. Looked like Olivia and Williams passed up some pretty good looks.
Yeah, and you know, that's a good problem to have. Players being too unselfish. So that's a good problem, but you just have to take what the defense gives you. The same as High Point. If UConn's not going to give you threes, well, then you need to take what else is open.
5 out on the perimeter for this High Point offense, and that's why you open up some driving lanes. And the bucket for Claire Wyatt.
And that's exactly what I mean by Claire Wyatt. If you can't get a three because the defense is all over you, something else is probably open. And for Paige Bueckers, everything's open.
First basket for Paige of this 3rd quarter. She's now got 15 points. Go along with 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Curran short. Now 1 of 8 from downtown.
Yeah, she's
the Big South Player of the Year. Bueckers, tough with contact, gets it to go.
And the thing about Paige Bueckers is she just finds her points and finds her moments of when to attack. She doesn't shoot every shot that's open, as if you can believe that. There's plenty of times where she passes up the shots. She wants to get the best shot for her team as High Point scores there.
Good basket there by Sydney Johnson. She's got 7 points on 3 of 5 shooting.
Yeah, Sydney's played well.
They're going to get the offensive foul. Nelson Adota trying to clear out with the off arm. That's her first. Hey, the Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues tonight on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. So Jalen Suggs in the win for Gonzaga over Norfolk State yesterday. Not his best effort, but these two are best buddies from their days growing up in Minnesota and their love for basketball. Both hoping to close out freshman campaigns with national championships.
Yeah, definitely, and that's common in sports. It's just you start to know players just from being in the circuit. When you're young, you're in the AAU circuit, you're in the USA basketball circuit. There's points where you pretty much meet any of the top athletes, and so you become friends after that. As Edwards fouls and has to go to the bench, I believe, with 4.
So now Edwards with 4 fouls. Nika Mule is out with an ankle injury, so 2 starters off the court right now for Connecticut. almost midway through this third quarter.
And again,
Just come back out to join her teammates on the side.
yeah, and for Nika Mule, that's what you want to do. You do want to be out there with your teammates. And at that point, you have to just be a coach on the sidelines. You know, you don't want to be there hurt, but since you are there, you can provide knowledge, and Paige Bueckers can provide buckets.
Of course, her other good buddy is Caitlin Clark. I'm not saying they try and match each other point for point, Renee, but Clark had 23 in her debut earlier today for Iowa. Bueckers has hit, what, 5 of her last 6 shots? She's got 19 points now.
She has, and they're friends, and it kind of reminds me of a Trae Young and Luka Doncic, where they're the same class, same great point guards, and they're buddies, and everybody's pitting them against each other in a sense of the competitive spirit, and they're just friends, texting each other after the games, telling each other good shots. So yeah, that's the world of sports right there.
There is a possibility if Connecticut wins here and then they both win their second round games that they would face off on the floor in the Sweet 16. Good interior passing for the Huskies.
Great passing up a good shot for a better shot, and then the better shot for a best shot. That was a great extra hockey assist there.
12 points, 6 boards for Nelson Adota. He's got 4 assists too.
Yeah, and right there, High Point actually had an extra pass in the corner and didn't pass it. Got to make that extra play.
Bueckers now with 7 rebounds, and things are going the Huskies' way. How about 60% shooting now in the second half?
And the thing about that shot by Nelson Adota is, we can remember a couple possessions ago, she wouldn't even look at the rim. She was just holding the ball, not doing anything with it, because she had airballed one earlier in the half. That's what you love to see, the confidence to take another one there and make it this time.
That shot almost went down for Callie Shire, and Nelson Adota fouled inside. They really don't have an answer for the Connecticut size. That's been the challenge all night for High Point. Under 4 to go here in the third. The 1 seed in the Riverwalk comfortably in front.
Right on time, baby. They are throwing it down now.
Oh, and she did that against the arch rival Cal Bears during the regular season. But Fran Belibi, Haley Jones, Cameron Brink, Anna Wilson, the overall #1 seed in the tournament, the Stanford Cardinal, champions of the Pac-12 Conference, with their all-time wins leader in women's basketball history, Tara Vanderveer at the helm. They open up next against Utah Valley. It's been all chalk today. All the favorites have won. Been a couple of nail-biters, but impressive showings out of the gate for the likes of Baylor and NC State and South Carolina. And now the UConn Huskies getting it done. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Beth Mullins, Renee Montgomery, and Holly Rowe in San Antonio. One of the 2 courts that they are utilizing at the Alamo Dome. 5 different locations for the first and second rounds in Texas, and then the whole tournament will move to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4 the next 2 weekends.
Look, I mean, that.
Oh my goodness.
Great shot right there. The defense on that play before Sydney Johnson made that 3 was amazing. Great job by High Point handling the pressure and knocking down the shot anyway.
You know, it was great talking with Chelsea Banbury about the genuine excitement and enthusiasm after all everybody's been through in this COVID year. Cool for these players to be the first at their school to ever do this. This is the first trip to the NCAA tournament. She said it was funny, they were watching the selection show, and every time a purple team came up, they'd get excited thinking it was them, and they had to wait a little longer.
They got pump fake. That's what that's called. They gotta put in the call beforehand and let me know I'm coming up next, because I would be the type to be screaming every time I saw purple. I don't blame them, but congratulations to them on being the first representing their school. I know that's got to be a great feeling.
And congratulations, and okay, here are the 11-time national champs that you'll face
right.
first round.
Here's your reward to the tournament.
Yeah.
I see you with the fit. The cowboy hat, the purple cowboy hat, the High Point clothes. High Point family came out there in numbers.
Hey, there you go. Bang, bang, is
bang.
right. The life of a 16 seed.
You can read that other sign, Beth. It said something like UConn, better yet, like you can't. I think that's what that said.
You know I love a good turn of phrase, so we'll give them some credit for that.
We were having a blast with Urson Moon's. I keep on saying her name, Ambassador Moon Urson's name. We were having a blast with her name. To the moon, we were playing along with that.
We did get the moon shine in. She shined today with a new career high for Baylor.
Come on, you know I'm from West Virginia.
Just saying, not saying, you know. A big day for Baylor. Good to see both Moon Urson and D.J. Richards after all they had been through to be healthy again and be back in the NCAA tournament. And don't look now, folks, but High Point's making a run.
And that was a friendly roll right there on that three-point. My goodness, look at that pass. Look at that pass.
Good stuff at both ends of the floor. Callie Shire, Paige Bueckers. Under 2 minutes to go in the quarter.
And regardless of the score, this is an exciting game to watch because the style that High Point plays with it's what everybody loves to see. It's the three ball. It's like the three or bust, and they're going to let it fly. It doesn't matter how early in the shot clock, how late in the shot clock. If they have an open look at three, they're going to let it fly.
They've hit 9 of them. Their average is 10 a game. They've hit their last 3 attempts. And Skylar Curran misses both. 86% free throw shooter on the season. It's been a tough night. They have managed to take her away from downtown. Oh, tough catch again inside. And one off glass.
Beautiful bucket right there. Great find by Paige. And then look at the power dribble. Takes the hit, finishes anyway. That's how it's done.
To the free throw line for Avina Westbrook.
And Avina Westbrook, she has the 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, as you see. But her defense on the other end is what's really been impressive. You're playing against a team who can score. Now, this High Point team, while you see they have 48 points, they can score with the best of them. We talked about it, averaging 10 three-pointers. But just the defense that UConn has played all night long has worn on the High Point Panthers.
Foul is on Griffin. Moncarrat will come on for UConn. 1 minute to go in the quarter. Williams will check out.
And High Point has done a great job of getting to the free throw line. They haven't necessarily converted all of them, but they've been attacking enough to get there.
Yep. Hey, tune into ESPN and the ESPN app Thursday at 7 o'clock. NC State and Colorado State NIT quarterfinals. Visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Of course, also heading into baseball and softball season. Gymnastics, all kinds of great stuff on the ESPN networks.
You name it.
Just underway in the NCAA tournament on this opening day.
And opening day went pretty as scripted as Paige gets her hands on it. And looks like it's going to be a pick 6. But pretty much as scripted as you talked about. The teams that were expected to win have won so far today.
Bueckers now with 19, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. She's played every minute.
She actually has 21, and it's crazy because, yeah, and it's crazy because that first quarter was just 2, and then there was an explosion after that. Beautiful finish right there.
Just in time to beat the buzzer on the drive. And the bucket for Curran, 78-52, UConn in front. Let's take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance and rewarding others for Paige Bueckers tonight.
Buckets were made, dimes were dropped. Look at these passes. like I said, it must be a luxury to play with her. Another dime drop, loose change everywhere. Paige Bueckers, she does it so casually. That's why she has a huge following online. She has a huge following everywhere. She is fun to watch, and that's a little example of why with that rewarding performance.
Again, on pace to set the single season record at UConn, 6.1 assists per game coming in. And I believe she's now just 6 points short of 500 for the season. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, you see that fantastic passing, and it just has the flair and reminds me a little bit of Diana Taurasi, and it's really interesting. I had a conversation with Diana Taurasi in the WNBA bubble this year, and she's like, young people don't know how to pass. She was in the bubble shaking her head that she couldn't believe how poor of passers other teams were. And I was like, okay, Diana, I think you're going to like this young lady because she's got a little flavor, a little flair, and I think the passing is picking back up with Paige Bueckers.
Oh, Diana. An outspoken Taurasi. Now, there's a rarity. Yeah, great to see the passing from Bueckers. I believe this is always a debate when we get into Connecticut games. You know, Diana Taurasi's 3 national championships. Who was the point guard, her or Maria Conlon? Because one of the stats that we love to get into is, has a national champion ever won with a point guard as their leading scorer? And I don't believe it's ever happened with their freshman as a leading scorer. So
so Sue Bird wasn't the leading scorer?
I don't believe she was the leading scorer on their national championship teams. I mean, think of the other 4 starters they had on those teams.
No, that's almost to the point of the UConn style, in a sense of there's so many great players. I think about in my 2009 team, the other 4 players beside me was Maya Moore, Tina Charles, Tiffany Hayes, Kalena Green. So yeah, I'm probably not going to be the leading scorer with those ballers beside me. So Paige might be the first.
Williams running the floor. Hockey assist Bueckers, and 1.
And that's the style of play. That's the style of play when UConn is at their best. Get the ball up the court, out in the open floor, finish. Great finish right there by Williams. They make it look easy.
Williams, who only played 8 minutes in that first half with foul trouble, stayed clean through the 3rd quarter.
And you know, Williams has got to be excited about how things went, because you don't want to get in foul trouble and the team not play well and you feel like it's on you. So when she came back in the 3rd, she was ready to roll.
Bueckers, 8th rebound, 24 points, 6 assists. It might be a shade early for the triple-double watch, but there's still 8 minutes to go.
Listen, Beth, we can start watching whenever we want to. So, so we're going to start watching right now.
Curran does not get the bounce there.
And you know, Beth, we talked about it before in the other games. If you look at the score, you might say, 89-52, game's over. But if you're UConn, I've been a part of those teams that have been up big. You don't feel that way while you're playing. You actually still feel this nervousness. I don't care if there was 1 minute left. You feel this nervousness that you want things to go right. You want to be playing well. Chris Daly, you see CD on the sidelines. They don't care about the score. I've had games where we've won by 20+ points and I'm pouting in the locker room because we're in trouble. So you want to win, and you want to win a certain way.
All right, let's pull back the curtain right now with Renee Montgomery, America. You know, coaches always talk about, we don't pay attention to other teams. Come on now. The teams that are playing tomorrow, they're not in their hotel rooms right now. Why? They know that Baylor scored 100 earlier. They know that South Carolina looked impressive. Tell us the truth now, Renee.
Listen, the truth is you want to be the big dog. Like, you want to be, it doesn't matter that you're the #1 seed. You want to be the #1 of the #1s, and that's just the competitor. I'm speaking for me right now, and that's just how I feel in a sense of it. Does, you look at the other stuff. You're right. Of course I'm watching the other games. Of course I'm seeing what the people are saying about the other teams. And of course I'm texting my teammates like, y'all see this? Let's go. So that's how it works in the tournament, because it's all about being the best. And so if you are that #1 seed, you want to be the #1 of the #1s.
Messages being sent and delivered. First round coverage of the NCAA tournament. Tomorrow, by the way, you know, we're going all day and all night. That's how we roll here. We'll start at noon with the ACC and the SEC. You know, there are only 4 head-to-head Power 5 matchups the first 2 days of the tournament. We'll start out tomorrow with one of them, and then Arkansas Wright State at 2 Eastern on ESPN. Maryland, the highest scoring team in the country, will take out Mount St. Mary's, and then a good 7-10 matchup. There's another one of those Power 5s. Big 10 and Big 12, Michigan State, Iowa State.
Yeah, and this is part of the madness where you go to sleep watching basketball, you wake up and you do the same thing again. Love it.
There were pizzas ordered. There was a beverage or two consumed. I'm not gonna lie. You know, once you're knocked out of the tournament.
Yeah.
Just love these first few days of the NCAA tournaments. Of course, we saw some great action. Have seen some great action on the men's side, and now the women jumping in today.
And
Courtney Meadows coming on as a substitute here.
Yeah, and just mentioning the men, that almost is the wake-up call. If you're a lower seed, a 15-2 matchup, and you see, okay, on the men's side, we had an upset. There was a 1 upset. That's a wake-up call for the women's side on the ones like, hey, you saw on the men's side there's upsets happening. It kind of gets you going early because you don't want to be that upset. Or if you're the lower seed, you want to be that upset.
Also going on right now, West Virginia is up on Lehigh in the 4th quarter. And then the last 2 games of the day, Washington State, USF, and Stanford, Utah Valley.
Yeah, Stanford's playing great basketball right now. I'm excited just looking down the bracket. I've already circled certain matchups. I'm excited.
Your 1 seeds would be UConn, NC State for the first time ever, Stanford, and South Carolina, as Edwards scores inside, and now they are pushing closer to the 100-point mark. Baylor has already reached that today in their win over Jackson State.
And Baylor wanted that 100 points. They went after it. And again, it's kind of to that point where teams want to make a statement. First game, big dance, we're here.
Nice drive for 2 there by China McMichel, and a foul on the baseline. We knew what to expect coming in from High Point. They have attempted 20 two-pointers and 30 three-pointers tonight.
Wow.
And they have made 9 shots inside the arc, 9 shots outside the arc.
50-50 split, and you know, this is their first year in the tournament, and you just have to know that we're going to see more of them. You can tell by the style of play. We all know that even all of sports, when it comes to basketball, is trending towards the 3-point line, so they might be a little ahead of the curve in a sense of maybe too many threes, but I'm telling you, they're not going to have a hard time recruiting. Come to High Point, shoot some threes.
Chelsea Banbury really proud of the way that this team bought in. They believed in their coaching staff that this system could work. They believed in each other that it could work. Sydney Johnson going to work again off the bounce. I'm sure Gino on the post-game Zoom with the squad in the locker room is going to get after him about stopping a little dribble drive every once in a while.
I can guarantee it. When I played for Coach Ariema, I could think we had an amazing game, and then you watch film and you're like, oh my goodness. So yeah, the mistakes will be pointed out.
probably with a nice bottle of red. Edwards. Boy, the upside for this young lady. She is going to be a special one in stores.
Absolutely, and it's that work ethic. You can just see that she has such a high upside as far as skill set is concerned, but she just works hard every possession.
58 points in the paint to High Point's 57 in the game. And oh, by the way, next year they add another prep #1 recruit, Nazy Fudd, so they get even better with nary a senior to be found on this squad.
Scary season.
They've hit a hunch, 4:12 to play. Here's a look at what's coming your way. End of March Sweet 16 on the 27th and 28th. All this action from inside the Alamo Dome, 29th and 30th for the Elite Eight. National semis Friday night, April 2nd. And the National Championship tilt for the 39th time. Missed it last year, so everybody's excited to have it back on ESPN April 4th. It is the 6th Final Four in Texas, San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin. And Renee Montgomery, they are very proud in Texas to be the home of 4 national championship teams. 4 programs from Texas have won the national title over the years.
Are you going to tell us who it is?
Well, I'll give you one, the defending champs from 2019.
Yeah, Baylor. San Antonio Spurs would have to be.
No, I mean women's college.
Oh my goodness. Can I phone a friend,
Cheryl
Holly?
Swoops? How about little Cheryl Swoops?
Yeah.
Can I phone a friend in Holly?
Texas Tech, hello, Texas,
Yeah. How about an
Baylor,
undefeated
and Texas A&M.
Oh yeah.
Gary
Texas
Blair's
A&M.
10-year anniversary. That's a Gary Blair trivia question, by the way. We will see them tomorrow night in prime time. Yeah, 4 teams with trophies. Only 2 teams have ever won it in their home state, by the way, both in Los Angeles. Shot clock violation here as the trivia contest continues. Stanford and Cheryl Miller's USC Trojans, Renee Montgomery.
Man.
And I'm out. And I'm out.
And Paige are close. We're huge fans of each other, which I think is really cool. I think a lot of people just think we're just head to head all the time, battling each other, but we support each other. We want the best for each other, and honestly, we watch a lot of each other's games, and we'll text back and forth like "nice job," whatever. So I think it's a special relationship, and it's cool to support each other.
Well, if you're watching tonight, hello, Caitlin Clark. Resting, hopefully, after a win for Iowa earlier today in the first round. Actually, the first game of the day. They beat Central Michigan, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. So both of them kind of messing around, almost getting a triple-double here in their debuts in the postseason.
Yeah, both of them came out there and did not let the magnitude of the moment affect them. Both playing an extremely high level, and I mean, even Paige, 9 for 12 from the field. That's amazing for a guard that's shooting threes as well as layups.
Also debutantes in the ball, these High Point Panthers. And noble effort from them today in their first trip to the postseason.
And if you're High Point, you're going to live and die by the three-point line. It's your identity.
So Saylor Poffenberger, the early enrollee out of Middletown, Maryland, will check in, and let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, during pregame warm-ups, a very special moment on the court when the entire team gathered around Saylor Poffenberger as tears came to her face. This is the anniversary of her young brother's death, who passed away at just 4 years old in an ATV accident on March 21st in 2010. Of course, she wears number 4 to honor him, the age he was when he passed. And here she is playing in her first NCAA tournament game on that anniversary with her teammates and her sisters, loving her all the way.
Yeah, nice moment there for the UConn family and for Saylor, one of a handful of players around the country because of the COVID, and in some places because they didn't have a high school season, they were allowed to graduate in December and then move on and start their collegiate careers right away. So that is what Saylor was able to do. Debuted on January 31st with the Huskies.
And that's the beautiful part of sports. Now, we always talk about the competitiveness and trying to win championships, but that right there, you can see, Holly said it best. That was a group of sisters being around one of their sisters that was hurting as she gets a shot up, and I wanted it to go in for her, but that's the part of sports that when I retired that I knew I would miss the most, the sisterhood.
You know, the chemistry so important and a critical part of the success, really, of all 64 teams that have made it to the postseason. Johnson, oh, the pretty wraparound and a memory made for High Point.
Beautiful drop pass. The defender came over, dropped it to her big.
Final minute of this first round matchup in the Riverwalk region, and the UConn Huskies will advance for a date with the Syracuse Orange in a rematch of the 2016 National Championship game. And old friends and rivals from the heyday of the Big East Conference.
The Big East!
They meet again.
The Big East used to be booming in the sense of, well, I mean, it's still booming now. And shouts to Chris Daly. I believe with this win, that will make her 11-0
yeah,
as the head coach, interim head coach when Coach Auriemma can't coach. So CD's undefeated. Is anybody talking about CD's undefeated right now?
11-0. They will have to win without Gino again in the second round due to the COVID positive test. If they win that, then he could return for the Sweet 16 moving forward. But a tough challenge to come in the second round from the likes of Emily Engstler, Tiana Monacaya, Kiara Lewis, Camila Cardosa. Should be a fun one. Connecticut to face Syracuse in the second round. And congratulations on a wonderful season for the High Point Panthers.
Yes.
Champions of the Big South playing in the NCAA tournament. They will always be the very first to get in. And so we are set now in the top part of the Riverwalk bracket. If you're holding it in your hands at home, upper right side, it will be Connecticut, Syracuse, and Iowa, Kentucky playing for a date in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting. That 1-8 matchup, UConn-Syracuse, the 5-4 Iowa-Kentucky. I'm locked in.
Huskies hit the century mark. They win it 102-59. Let's send it down to Holly.
Well, I'm here with Paige Bueckers. And Paige, this is your first NCAA tournament game. What were some of the feelings and thoughts in your mind as you took the court for the first time here?
Yeah, it's a year of first, and I just want to say I'm a huge fan of Holly Rowe, and this has always been a dream of mine to get interviewed by her after the game. So I'm just excited to be here. I just love basketball, and you work your whole life for March Madness, so it's really awesome to be a part of it.
What were some of the conversations like about having to win this game without your head coach here, and why did you guys have such good focus?
Yeah, we knew we had to step it up. I mean, coach is obviously out with COVID, but we just want to continue to win for him so he can get out here with us. And we just wanted to focus really hard on the details and just minimize mistakes here in March.
You had 24 points today, and you made it look so easy. What is allowing you to perform at such a high level right now?
My teammates, the way they screen for me, the way they pass me the ball when I'm open, and just whatever they can do to get me open. I credit a lot to them, and a lot of my shots come from their screens, so just my teammates for sure.
We've got to talk about your passing, though. There is some flavor, some spice that I have not seen in such a long time. Where does the passing come from?
I think from God. I don't really think, you can practice passing, but sort of the flair. I just love to have fun, and flaring passes are part of it, so I give credit to him.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on a nice debut, Paige.
Thank you, Holly.